YgoAmino for Life here, bringing us a brand new video. It's been a while since I've done a video on this channel, and I'm sorry about that, guys. I've been very busy, and it's also led me to neglect my social media a little bit. I'm very sorry about that. It's been a hellish past few weeks, and it's only going to get a little bit worse, but I'm still going to try and make videos. So today I want to bring you guys a brand new deck profile, this time around Minions, and I really wanted to mess around with the brainwashing mechanic. I'll be honest, I've never really liked a lot of the brainwashed creatures. I feel that brainwashed creatures typically have better non-brainwashed effects, so there's very rarely a reason to actually play brainwashed creatures, with few exceptions. There's a few that have really good brainwashed effects, but not that many, and I would really like there to be more, but I digress. So anyways, wanted to give it a try and try something new with Minions. Let's get on to this. So first and foremost, up in the main zone, up in the middle, we have good old Nunkwern, one of my favorite Minion fluid morphers, because he's actually kind of battle focused and allows for a lot of fun stuff. If you guys don't know, he is a fluid morpher. He has fire and water. All of his attacks count as fire and water, so even if an attack doesn't have like fire or water on it, it still counts as one, which means he's guaranteed to get a fluid, like a magician counter pretty much every time. And then also, if he dies while he has exactly 3 music counters, he can bring him back into an unoccupied zone you control with no music counters and of course no battle gear. Pretty good stats all around too. And of course, my favorite battle gear to give him is the Bodil's Elemental Converter. This thing is silly as heck. So basically, the equipped creature gets fire 5 and water 5, which means all of Nunkwern's attacks are guaranteed to do an additional 10 damage, or at the very least 10 damage, which is really absurd and just allows for a lot of more damage and everything. The one caveat though is that if he does 25 or more damage in a single attack, Bodil's Elemental Converter gets flipped face down, which is a bit annoying, but oh well. So that's up in the main middle row. And then next to him, we have good old Magmon Retaliator. As I mentioned, there's not a lot of good brainwashed creatures, but Magmon the Retaliator really has some good things going for him. He has fire, earth, and thanks to the equip card I gave him, he has water as well, which is great. So that's handy as well, because of course Minions love water and they kind of need water. So yeah, needing water is pretty good too. Decent stats all around. And then big thing though is that he does an additional 5 damage to non-Minions, and he has Recklessness 5. Now, additional 5 damage to non-Minions can really stack up pretty quickly, especially with the amount of attacks that you're going to be able to do, thanks to him having water with the battle gear. So really good card overall, I feel. And strangely enough, I really focused on Underworlders. It's kind of weird. I didn't mean to either. Just went with them. They seem to have the best of the brainwashing effects, at least. Next up, we got Uxum. Uxum's a weird one in terms of brainwashing. Whenever he's brainwashed, he becomes a Carrel and gets 40 plus energy. So he starts off at 25, gets up to 40, so he's 65. And then on top of that, of course, I'm going to give him a shard because he's a Carrel. So I give him the Carrel shard of the oh god, what was this? The Stunch. So he gets water, which is great, and then also, of course, the equipped Carrel gets 15 energy and Defender water, so he can guard my Nunkwern or anybody else if need be. So that's pretty handy as well. Pretty good cards all around. Moving on. Next up, I can't bring myself not to play him. I know I'm gonna get crap for it, but I can't bring myself. He's one of my favorite cards, and of course I got Iron in the middle. Iron, along with his baton, is just something to kind of fear. That means I'm also playing 2 Chieftains in the deck, which is generally not crazy. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not crazy. I digress. But yeah, he's the only effect is to flip him over, of course, as you guys know. And of course, if you flip him over, you win, pretty much, because this card is fearsome to be reckoned. A feared one to be sure. I don't know what I was going to say there. But yeah, thanks to the good old Baton of Iron, he has 5 extra energy and water 5, which means he can do some pretty good damage as well and last a bit longer in battles, having a total of 60 energy. Next up, next to him, I got Draz. Draz is another card that I've really kind of liked because he just gets water 5, which is pretty handy for already having water, so I don't have to worry about him not having water. And on top of that, giving him the Torrent Crimp, so he gets another water 5, so he's water 10 effectively and doing even more damage. I really wanted to focus on just doing tons of damage with this deck. I like it a lot. I designed this deck and a lot of the other decks that I have currently made to be beginner friendly somewhat to an extent, because I am trying to teach my friends how to play chaotic, because of course I'm trying to hype up chaotic, you know, because you know it's coming back. So yeah, just trying to make things simple. Next up, and finally, we got probably the most annoying chieftain out there, other than maybe Contract. Good old Zistork. Zistork is one of the most obnoxious ones, and partly because he was the easiest chieftain to get for a long while, being a common when everybody else was a rare, super, or ultra in the original wave. So, Zistork, basically, all creatures you control gain all elemental proof, all elements, 10. So that means your creatures gain 10 additional energy for every element your opponent's creatures have, which can stack up quite a bit very fast, and I love it. Very good card overall for the deck. And also on him, of course, I'm going to have the Isaiah Mind Probe so he doesn't get targeted and probably killed by burn decks and stuff. Next up, for the attacks and everything, I got 2 Marksman's Preparations. This card is pretty annoying. Basically, you just discard another copy of it, deal 30 damage. And also, the opponent's creatures cannot gain Magician counters, and if you discard another copy, you also get to draw a card, so it helps deck thin a little bit. Pretty good card all around, for that at least. 2 squeeze plays, so I can just kind of mill about my attack deck, trying to get to my big power play water attacks. 2 Liquescent Swirls, just to be a game closer, because you don't want to lose water for good and just kind of lose out on that. 2 Sleet Slide for some more damage. 2 Inner Flood for even more damage. Well, damage only with Nunkrun really, but however it also lets you move around music counters, so you can kind of do that. 2 Torn of Flame, because all of our frontliners have fire and water, so that means you can do a crap ton of damage with this. Heck, with Nunkrun, with his fire 5 and water 5, on this you can do upwards of what, like 30 damage with this card. Granted, that flips over his battle gear, but however, still. And then of course with Magma Retaliator, that's 35 damage as well. And of course, same thing with good old Uxum being 30 damage. Speaking of Uxum, 1 Coverall Crush. I thought I had 2 in here, but I digress. Coverall Crush is pretty good, 5 damage, 5 water, and then if your creature is a Coverall, it does another 10 damage. No. If your engaged creature is equipped with a shard, so okay, I got it mixed up. If they have a shard, so that works for good old Magma Retaliator and Uxum. Moving on, we got 2 Flood Force. Pretty good card overall, just 15 damage for a 1-drop. 2 Riptide, pretty standard. 2 Rage of Iron, and then 1 Super Cold Rain, being just like the best water attack ever. As you might have been able to tell, this is not going by the community ban list, so I do plan on incorporating that in a future deck profile after I do something talking about it, because I still need to get around to just kind of talking about it and giving my opinions, but I digress. Finally, next up I got the locations. 1, the Oligarch's Path. I thought I had this in order, darn it. Oh, well, whatever. So the Oligarch's Path is a pretty good location card just for your Chieftains. It lets Iron go first, and also lets him gain another 10 energy and decreases the cost of his music by quite a bit. Next up, I got 2 Vidav's Reflectorium, just lets you dig through your attack deck a bit more. 2 Mount Pillar Reservoir, Nethuar's Foothold. I really like this card because it's basically a monster born for Chieftains. Oh no, my Zistork died, bring it back. 1 Imaginary Walls, because hey, 5 less damage from Marilians and Minions is pretty good. Open Doors of the Deep Mines in case my Chieftains do die, and also of course Initiative is Minion, so that's pretty handy as well. 1 Rapasak, Condensation Ceremony, another pretty good card. 1 Reverent, oh wait, no, there is 2 Raposak, so my stuff kind of got mixed up, sorry about that. 2 Raposak, Condensation Ceremony, and 1 Everrain, so yep. Just kind of rounding out the locations there. Finally for the music, 1 Calling of Iron, 1 Ostinato of Obenmir. Basically, if you don't know, target creature, target Marillion or minion gains 10 energy for each minion in all discard piles. that can stack up quite a bit, especially towards the end game. So pretty good all around. One Fluidmorphous Fanfare, just to get more water and a music counter. One Symphonic Pelagic Mare Song, because this card is such a troll. And then one Swartborn Battle Song, again another trolley card, I love it. Basically, if the caster is engaged, the opposing engaged creature, and the caster gain energy equal to their lowest discipline, which can be quite a lot for you. Also a lot for your opponent too, if possible, but hopefully not. And finally, one Forgotten Origins to get rid of my opponent's graveyard, as well as mine. I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world. Obviously, you want to time it so that you don't do it as soon as one of your dudes get in the graveyard, so then you can actually, you know, take advantage of Nefua's Foothold. But I digress. So that is the good old Muralian brainwashing minion fun fest. I don't know what to call it. Minion. There we go. I don't know. Minion something. I'll figure it out. I'm afraid to put Minion in the title because then I'm afraid that, like, in the suggested you'll see nothing but Minion videos, and I don't know about you guys, but the Minions have worn off their appeal a long time ago. But what do you guys think about this build? I know it can be improved on, and I do plan on doing such, but I want to see what you guys' thoughts and opinions are. Thank you all for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. See y'all later, guys. Peace out and goodbye.